I haven't made a video since the potato reset that I did, and boy have things changed since then. I am in a completely different place to what I was just a week or two ago, and I wanted to share that I have been feeling strongly called into the fitness phase of my weight loss journey. I'm naturally a very fit person. I love to walk. I have exercised most of the time that I began my weight loss journey. Something else that has changed for me is looking back. I would like to reword this journey from my vegan journey to my weight loss journey, because I don't know how to identify, what to identify myself as. So the only thing that I know makes sense to me is that, yes, I have been on this weight loss journey for almost 2 years. I have stuck to a plant-based diet, but I have eaten some meat and dairy, and I still do occasionally. So I am admitting that sometimes my body needs a little bit of meat, and I like to eat some meat sometimes, but I love eating plants so much, and I love eating naturally, and I love the lower calorie dense foods. It allows me to eat more volume but be on track with my calories. So in the past, I have been on weight loss journeys before, and I successfully lost a lot of weight before my wedding back in 2008. And I did this by eating lean meats and lots of salad and vegetables, and just staying away from heavily processed foods and junk food. And I was doing HIIT cardio workouts on the treadmill, lifting weights, and I managed to fit into my wedding dress that I had bought, and it was my goal, and I looked and felt great. However, it wasn't sustainable, because I saw it as restriction, and so immediately I went back to eating like I did before. I ate whatever I wanted, and eventually I gained even more weight back throughout my following pregnancies. And some other weight loss journeys I was on were very short, like a couple of months, and I did this through cutting carbs and things like that, and I lost a lot of weight, but I would gain it back immediately. And what's different about this weight loss journey is it has become a lifestyle. I am finally not guilty about eating carbs like potatoes and pasta every now and then, and I enjoy eating plant food. I have finally found things that I really love. There's so much more variety and choices and options when it comes to a plant-based diet, and the difference is I have never stuck to a weight loss plan or goal for this long. So in April it will be 2 years, and it is a big deal for me, because I've normally would have gained a ton of weight back and given up and felt like a failure and then had to start again. I just know that this is a lifestyle for me now. So it's not about hurrying up and being quick. It's just about, okay, if I mess up, I know what to do. I'm not looking for quick fixes anymore. I'm not cutting out food groups like I did in the past. And yes, even though I'm not consuming a lot of meat, I do supplement. So I wanted to share that since the potato cleanse, I was like, okay, well, what now? And I realized through that potato cleanse that I didn't actually want to cut out any food groups or macros like carbs and fats and protein. I actually wanted to be as balanced as I could. And I discovered somebody new who is into weight training, and she's helped a lot of people. Her name is Gwen Lifts, and I just as this journey, as has happened throughout this whole journey, people have come to me just at the right time, and they've helped me with each phase. So the beginning of my weight loss phase was all about weight loss, the scales moving. So I followed high carb Hannah, and I switched to a strict plant-based diet. And over about a year, I lost most of the weight. So I was 70 kilos when I began, and I'm now bordering 55, 56 kilos. Well, I was before I started weight training again. So I lost the majority of my weight. And then I felt like I went into like a plateau for a long time. So I felt like the next phase of my weight loss journey, I had to be really, really strict. And this was before I went on the cruise. I wanted to look my best. So I increased my walking for the following year. I was trying to do 10,000 steps a day. I cut right back on my fats, and I didn't do weight training much. And in that next phase, I was able to tone up a little bit more, lose a bit more fat, and drop a couple of dress sizes. So I was a size 16 before I started in April 2 years ago, and I'm now a size 10, but I only have a little bit of fat left to lose. I do have some. I probably have more than what I think on my body. And it's not about reaching a goal weight anymore. So I initially set out to get down from 70 kilos to 55 kilos, and I did that. And then I was going to reassess how I looked and felt and what was next for me. So I'm moving out of the weight loss phase. Yes, I still have weight to lose. I still have fat on my body. I would still love to be leaner than what I am, but I'm focusing more now on reshaping my body to get there, instead of cutting out food groups and using the scales to measure my success. So rather than cutting out fats completely or lowering my carbs, I'm taking a whole balanced approach. I've actually increased my protein because I've started weight training, full body lifting weights 3 times a week. And I'm tracking my calories again. Yes, I know none of us want to do that when it comes to weight loss, but unfortunately, that is what happens right at the end when you want to get your perfect body. You want to get the shape you want. You do have to manage those numbers. You have to watch what's coming in your body and make sure that you're constantly in a deficit. So I have started tracking stricter than ever, and no, this is not affecting me. I'm not hungry because I've increased my protein intake. I am back to eating a fully balanced, whole food, plant-based diet, and I'm going to allow myself some red meat once every now and then when my body craves it. I do think that it's good for me, and I may in the future even go back to eating meat more. I really don't know. I'm happy where I am. I'm happy eating plant-based, but I'm not going to be strict. I'm not going to limit anything. I'm not having any processed foods or junk food or takeaways, and I'm making sure that I have targets. So in each of my meal, I'm making sure that the fats are as low as possible, and that I'm getting a good amount of carbs and protein to meet those targets. So I've started to do, I used to do a 5-day split when it came to lifting weights. So that's focusing on different muscle groups at different times of the week. But I've moved into a full body workout 3 times a week. And yeah, I just wanted to update you guys if you are following my weight loss journey. I'm aiming for a calorie deficit of between 100 and 200 calories a day, sometimes a little more, because I'm not in a hurry to actually lose fat. I'd like this to be a gradual process, so I'm not going to allow myself to go hungry, but I must be in that deficit every day. So yeah, I'll show you guys what I'm eating today. So I've just gotten in to work from my walk. I'm still sweating, but before I get into showing you guys what I'm eating today, I just wanted to say that the reason I'm sharing this is because, especially after the potato reset, is because I just want to get it out there that you don't need to do anything extreme to lose weight and be healthy and look good like the potato reset. Yes, it's good for like a week or so, but what moving into this fitness phase has done for me is it's taken my mind off the goal of losing weight and being thin, which is something that we can get stuck in as women and being on a weight loss journey. And I am just feeling so much better that I have stopped focusing on the scales and I'm moving into doing the things I enjoy. I want fitness and healthy eating to be a lifestyle for me. It makes me feel good. Why am I lifting weights? Because it is my favorite thing to do. I love feeling strong and fit. It's good for our bone density. It's good to maintain muscle, and it does burn fat while at rest. Another thing that I have done is I used to be so cautious of my fat intake that I was having no fats in my meals, but it was forcing me to eat more throughout the day. So I was having snacks. Sorry, I'm just so sweaty and messy. What has changed for me after the potato reset is that I went in to Chronometer and I planned out my meals. I increased the tofu and hummus, like I increased the fats and protein so that I was getting a few extra calories, maybe an extra 50 calories per meal. And what that's done for me is it's kept me full and I have not needed to snack. So what I was doing before is I was having so little calorie meals, like 300, 400 calorie meals, and I would be hungry 2 hours later and I'd be snacking on extra fruit and extra carbs and things like that. Carbs are good for you, and I do have a lot of them in my meals. I technically am on a high carb diet, but what I've done is I've added the flaxseed back into my morning oats, just a tablespoon. It's added about 60 to 70 calories, and what that's done is I have not needed my soup before lunch, which was 70 or 80 calories anyway. So I've just replaced that snack with the same amount of calories by adding the extra fats and protein, and it's kept me fuller for longer. And then at lunch I've increased my calories, so my lunch was about 300 calories before. It's now about 370, 380, and I increased my protein and fats a little bit, so I'm now full, and I may only have a piece of fruit before a workout. I am trialing adding a protein shake as well to my day because I am lifting weights, and as long as you are tracking your calories and you're in a deficit every day, it really doesn't matter too much what you're having, as long as if you want to get more out of your calories, then eat on the lower calorie density side. So I trialed a protein shake yesterday because when I go out and do things, I need to be fuller for longer. So I had a protein shake with a little bit of fruit, and that was about 350 calories. But then I had a very light dinner. So the dinner, I didn't have protein in my dinner because I'd already met my targets. I only needed about 200 or 300 calories. I wasn't that hungry. So I was able to have just some potato and veggies for dinner, which was only about 300 or so calories, and I was still in a deficit and I was satisfied. And yeah, I'm still experimenting. I'm going to share more about this, but yeah, I just want to get it out there that I do feel so much better. I have so much more energy. When I was on the potato reset, I actually took me nearly an hour to walk to work, and I didn't realize this until now because I was walking slower, whereas I'm back to making it a fast, brisk walk. I'm still trying to do my 10,000 steps a day on top of the weight training, but I managed to be able to walk so fast and have so much energy. So yeah, feeling great, and I'll keep you guys updated.